Oh yes, it's coming in 3, 2, 1. On the air with FDT-TV, the premier West Ham and Arsenal football podcast, brought to you every Monday by Michael Hawes and Ian Varker.
Hello and welcome to episode number 36. We're getting up there in numbers now, Mike. It's a little bit mad. This is obviously a full season. We had the Euros, didn't we, in between?
Yep.
World Cup next year. What's going on? Going to be a silly amount of episodes before we know it. But anyway, how are you doing?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Fed up of football. Want the season to be over until we start winning again.
So much like the Arsenal team, you've given up with it.
Yeah, that's it, mate. I'm on my summer holidays already.
Oh my! So we've got a few topics to cover to start off with, and then obviously I think we get into the nitty gritty of why West Ham and Arsenal have sort of fallen apart in the league this week or last week. So number one, obviously a little throwback to last week, Liverpool, Manchester City. We see them battle it out in the league and come out as stalemate. City made some changes. Liverpool did a few, but not many. And having a cup keeper isn't always the best.
Nope.
I think if Ederson was playing, that wouldn't have happened, and I think
Yep.
City probably would have won. For those who didn't see it, obviously Man City play out of the back, as do a lot of teams now, and they played it back to Stefan, who took a touch, and then he took another touch, and then Sadio Mane came out of nowhere on the water slide of the pitch that was Wembley, clattered through him and put it in the back of the net. Fair play to him, if I'm honest. But, yeah.
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed because just Liverpool fans annoy me.
Yep.
But at the same time, my prediction was right, and I've got an even bigger prediction for you tonight.
You're not going quadruple, are you?
Well, they can't, can they?
Why not?
Oh, sorry. No, are you talking about Liverpool quadruple?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so yeah, for people who are a little bit like, oh, we've drawn the USA, and I remember last time we played them in the World Cup, Robert Green let it go for his legs. But that's the keeper for America. So
Good to know.
yeah. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I think we'll be all right. Number two, obviously, a big club got relegated. Obviously, not necessarily all of their own fault, but Wayne Rooney couldn't save Derby County. And they've gone into League One. Now, he has said that he wants to stay with the club, which is nice. I think actually he's done really well there, if I'm totally honest with you. And the fact that they're still in administration doesn't necessarily bode well for them at the moment, but I'm sure they will get taken over at some point. Do you think he's got it in his locker to keep that squad together as it is, or do you think some of those players will be stolen? Because there is a few young gems in there.
To be honest, I think with the club in the crisis that they are in terms of, well, you just mentioned it, the administration, I think they'd be stupid if they can capitalise on some signings and stuff like that. It's going to have to be a bit of a depleted squad going into the new season. But if they do manage to keep hold of them, then fair play to them. I think financially, it makes sense to get rid of. But I suppose it depends on where the players' heads are at, whether they'd be willing to put up with League One for a season if they can bounce back. I was looking at the table earlier, and had they not had the 21 point deduction at the start of the season, they'd be sitting comfortably in the bottom half of the table, but nowhere near relegation.
Yeah.
It's a bit unfortunate. Obviously, it's a poorly run club, but they've done. I think he's done well. And fair credit to him if he does stay, and want to kind of prove a point. It's more than could be said about certain other managers going to bigger clubs when the offer comes along.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think Derby fans would resent him if someone come in for him now. but he has done well taking that club that has very few players and played a lot of youth to get them back or get them playing and get the tune out of them. It's not happened. But yeah, so that's that. A big manager appointment that potentially it looks like it is going to happen is Ten Hag from Ajax joining Manchester United. Obviously, they've not done well under interim boss Ralph Ragnick. I think there is an argument there to be made to say they're playing worse football than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They've got some results, yes, but I think they would have got some results under Ole as well. Ten Hag coming in, obviously Ajax are known for their youth play, their passing. If he can get control of the club, which I don't think he will, then there's a potential there for improvement. But I think it's bigger that problem at Manchester United is bigger than just the manager.
Yep.
And I think they've got to be prepared to do what Arsenal have done and cull that squad and say we've made a mistake on captain, we've made a mistake on bringing in past stars, we've made a mistake on all sorts of other players and transfers, and then let him do what he needs to do. Mm-hmm. But interesting fact I read about Manchester United, Cristiano Ronaldo is the first number 7 for Manchester United to score over 10 goals in a season after Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, okay.
So he was the last number 7 to do it at United, and no one's done it since. But yeah,
and 60 career hat tricks.
Yeah, it's madness.
60. Crazy.
It's more
crazy.
Some strikers don't even score 60 goals in their career, let alone 60 hat tricks. And yeah, so that sort of sums up the world of news in terms of football. I think
you're missing one, mate.
What, the VAR? Oh, yes, of course. I was going to say VAR being introduced into Scottish football next year, but that doesn't really count as football. But yeah, Sean Dyche has been sacked by Burnley of all people. Well, he wouldn't be sacked by anyone else. He was Burnley manager.
I think the bigger headline would be Sean Dyche sacked by Arsenal.
Yeah, well,
or sacked by West Ham.
Yeah, I mean, it would have made headlines, certainly. I think well, they've had a little bounce and they got a draw against us, but I think that's a mistake.
I do.
Longest serving manager in the Premier League. Do you know who number 1 is now? And this will be a what? Put it in the comment section if you already know.
I'm trying to think.
He's a man who... Do you want some clues?
Got him.
He likes breaking his glasses.
Jurgen Klopp.
It is Jurgen Klopp. He's now the longest serving manager in the Premier League. That's scary, isn't it? He's been there, 6 years, I think?
And that time flown.
Yes. I remember when he joined Liverpool, and I think all of us went, oh... We liked him. We would have had him, but yeah, it wasn't good. But yeah, he's done a job at Liverpool. You could say he's done all right, and he not pulled up any trees, but he's steady, I suppose. But yeah, so Sean Dyche, it's a strange one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Burnley are a club who are run sensibly for the size of the club. They don't overstretch their means, but to keep them in the Premier League and be competitive for as long as they have on a shoestring of a budget, to get rid of him now, they've had a bit of an odd year with lots of injuries to key players.
Not forget selling players, and also I can't remember what I was going to say. Selling players, and that's my point.
Well, they sold Chris Wood, didn't they? It was guaranteed for. You hit double figures in the last 3 seasons for him. Weghorst has come in and not pulled up trees. He's a big lump, but he's his first season in the Premier League. He ain't going to get another one, I don't think. Yeah, I just think it's unfair. I don't know who Burnley think they're going to put in place. I think they've been linked with Sam Allardyce, but that ain't going to be any...
Sam Allardyce, and I've also heard about Slaven Bilic.
See, now I've got a bit of respect for Slavan, but he's not a Premier League manager. He's not a Premier League quality manager. Sam Allardyce, I think, will come in and would have done the same thing as Sean Dyche. He will be organised. He'll be hard to break down, and he'll play to the team's strengths. I think that's swapping apples for apples, really.
Yep.
I would like to see Sean Dyche go into actually another Premier League club that's got some money. And the reason I say that is, I know we've mentioned, like, when Arsenal was searching for a manager, Eddie Howe, Sean Dyche, this, that and the other. He's a British manager, so there's a lot of calls for British managers to be in the Premier League. But he's organised, and he's very selective about his players in a similar manner to what David Moyes is, I suppose. He likes a certain type of player that's going to work hard. If you give him a budget, say you put him in at Newcastle, I know Eddie Howe's there, but say you was to put him in Newcastle, I think you'd have a better team than you would under Eddie Howe. Because I think they would get stars that work hard rather than just going for big names that are sort of like FIFA signings. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, not saying Eddie Howe's doing a bad job. He's done all right, I suppose. But yeah, just a bit of a disappointment.
Yes.
But
may he rest in peace.
Yeah, I'm sure Sean Dyche will be back at some point. If not as a colour commentator, I think that would go down well with every sports fan. But West Ham. We went to France. We conquered France. Much like every war, they gave up. We're in the semi-finals of Europa League, mate.
I know.
What's going on?
To be honest, I've got to be honest, I didn't see the game. It was only the next morning. Basically, I had a bit of a nightmare with work. And it took me ages to get home and stuff from work. And I was just like, it was only the morning after when I saw the score. I was like, yeah, I forgot the game was on. I really wanted to watch that game as well. I really wanted to watch the game, but I saw the scoreline and I was like, holy crap. You guys absolutely smashed it.
Yep. And without Kurt Zouma, because he's out injured again. But the thing is, right, a lot of West Ham fans bought tickets to Barcelona. Because Barcelona were the rightful... They were in control of that tie, but yet again in Europe they fucked it up. Eintracht Frankfurt, where we bought Sebastian Haller from, and who we owe lots of money to still. Yeah, could be interesting. I'm sure.
Could be interesting.
From what the media showed, there was clashes between fans. I've not been able to find anyone who was actually there or present or witnessed anything between clashes. But yeah, it could be an interesting fixture. But
you looking forward to it?
No. I've got to be honest, it's one of those, when you look at it, we should win this tournament now. I know there's no easy games in Europe, but if we beat Frankfurt, we've got to play Rangers, who are championship quality at best. Mate,
you might want to just rein that back in case.
No, mate.
Okay.
Well, I'm prepared to eat my hat because we're West Ham, so we will fuck it up. But that's the West Ham way. But
you do realise if you play Rangers,
yep,
and they beat you,
yep,
I am gonna soundbite that and send it to you.
But they're missing their talisman for the rest of the season. Morales, he's out. So Antonio needs to find his shooting boots because he can't seem to score at the minute. He's getting in the right positions, but he needs to start putting them away. Can't rely on Jared Bowen the whole time and Souček's shoulder. But yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good.
Lucky you still there with your little icon,
mate.
Still left,
mate. It's going to be a big trophy next year.
Nothing. Oh, mate, can you imagine?
Last couple of weeks, I should take that Premier League badge away from you, really.
Yeah.
Holiday, just on the holiday. Yeah, come on, talk us through that then, because you played Southampton. Southampton desperately needed a win because they hadn't won in like 57 games. And, yeah.
And they got it. Yeah, as I said last week, mate, I was not confident going into that game at all, purely on the basis that we've had a few slip-ups like this. When you get a team that's off form, we see it at Everton at the start of the season. We see it with not Crystal Palace. Brighton have been a bit iffy in the recent weeks. And then Southampton getting absolutely tonked the weekend before. And it's not like we didn't dominate the possession. We dominated the chances. We're just not clinical. And I know we had to kind of like put Eddie Nketiah up top because Laka was out with COVID. Apparently might be back in time for the game against Chelsea. But I think that's only re-emphasised how we lack in squad depth.
Yes.
We've got no one that can fill the position. I don't understand why he didn't put Martinelli up top. I think Martinelli would have been a better choice.
Yep.
But obviously, with Eddie Nketiah coming to the end of his contract, I think Arteta's keen to keep hold of him. But I think Nketiah wants to go because he wants to get game time. And fair play to him. He's not really getting a game at the moment. But we're lacking in midfield. We're stupid defensive lapses have cost us games in the last 3 weeks.
Yep.
And it's not good enough. Not good enough at all. And yeah, I was fully expecting a loss for that one. Like I said, another defensive error, and it's cost us.
Well,
so
the bit that got me with Arsenal, we're watching bits of it, is when you get into the final third, you stop doing this nice passing that has done you well all season, and you try and each player seems to try and overdo it and take one too many touch and then shoot and miss or get it off target.
Yep.
Rather than those sort of nice little passes, which I know Arsenal are known or have been known in the past for passing it into the goal, but just a little touch, a pass 2 seconds earlier, and it opens up that defence, and I think you score 3 or 4. I don't know if they're reading the back pages already about being the saviour that's turned Arsenal around or what, but yeah. It's just not clicking.
We've got 3 difficult games coming up.
Yeah.
Now, in fact, the remaining games that we've got, I can't even see us getting 3 points in any game. I've got to be completely honest. So I've just got very quickly, for the purposes of the podcast, our next games: Chelsea loss, United loss, West Ham loss, Leeds draw, Spurs loss, Newcastle. I'm on the fence with that one. And then Everton, that'll be a loss.
Probably will be. The thing is,
do you know what I mean?
Newcastle, it depends on who turns up, doesn't it? You can either walk over them or they give you a really hard game at the minute.
Yep. And let's be honest, it's us. They're going to give us a good game.
Yeah.
We're going to struggle. Yeah, we're going to struggle. Full stop. I don't need to add any more to that. I can't see where the goals are coming from at the moment. I know all it's going to take is one victory, and if we can play against United, and if we get a win on that one, I'll be ecstatic with that. But with our current form, I can't see us scoring goals, even with their defence, even with United's defence, we'll get trolloped by Chelsea. I think United's going to be the closer one of the two.
Yeah.
West Ham, I suppose it depends. So Sunday the 1st of May, so that's 2 weeks' time. Oh, you got Europe? in between that.
We will have Europe in between that, yeah. So you're that middle,
possibly then.
you're that middle leg of our European game. So
okay, or maybe a draw on that.
It'll be a tired team, injury stricken team as well at the minute. But yeah, so after Arsenal's disappointment, we see a tired West Ham team come out and draw to Burnley, managerless Burnley. I will add. Not really much to say about it. It was just very tired. I get really annoyed. Someone keeps sending me messages on Facebook and it keeps pinging up on my computer. So, yeah, it's one of those that they got a penalty, and rightly so. And it's just lucky Maxwell Cornet is not in form in a minute, because he done the keeper, put him down on one knee, and then just put it wide. If he'd hit the target anywhere, he would have scored. And then Thomas Souček's... Thomas says, oh, yeah. Now Mike's joined in. Everyone can probably hear ding, ding every time a message comes through. Yeah, so it's interesting stuff, but just a tired looking team. We as you are, we lack squad depth, especially when you get a couple of injuries as well. It's going to be a difficult running. And then we'll at the end
in your last games.
No idea off the top of my head.
Oh, okay.
I can look it up and tell you. Give me 2 seconds. I will tell you who we've got. The trouble is the last fixture is now going to be in it, that tired one. So we played Chelsea, Eintracht Frankfurt, Arsenal, Eintracht Frankfurt again, Norwich, Man City, Brighton.
Also, yeah, I've got some winnable games.
Yes, Norwich we should win, but again, Norwich have been putting in some decent performances. That's only 3 days after the second Frankfurt game, so it'll be a tired fixture. City, I think you have to write that off as we're not going to win. And Brighton, who knows? Who knows what's happening with Brighton at the minute? They'll either
North London is theirs, mate.
Well, we're East London and we're massive. But yeah, but I think with that, Brighton will find a little bit of form towards the end of the season. They usually do get a little bit of uptick, and they're sort of a bogey team for us. They always score lots of goals. They sometimes concede lots, but they always score a few.
Did you see their tweet at the weekend?
I didn't.
Oh,
no.
mate, it was amazing. I was just scrolling through social media. And, yeah, so obviously the North London derby, Arsenal is... London is red, London is white, depending on which side of the fence you're on. They obviously beat us last week. They beat they beat Tottenham at the weekend, and they sent it out a tweet that says, Brighton and Hove Albion, North London is ours. Fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I loved it.
They're the
so good.
First team in, I can't remember how many years, to beat Arsenal and Tottenham away in consecutive games in like 58 years or something. But I think that's just, I mean, that relies on some fixture list as well, but
yeah.
It doesn't happen very often. So when is the North London derby rescheduled for?
I want to say something like the 15th of May.
Oh, a little while then. One of the
12th of May.
One of the latter games of the season. But the best thing about it, right, and this is the way I'm looking at the Europa League right now, is we always have something to do with mucking Tottenham's season up. So I think they will now finish in the top 4 and not get to play Champions League football because we'll win the Europa League.
Do you know what? I would love and kiss every West Ham fan if that were the case.
Mate, that's a rough promise. If we do that, then I will replay that. I will save that as a sound clip. But yeah, so it could be an interesting end to the season. Obviously, there's a few different battles going on up the top of the table. For battle for fourth, Europe could have a say in it in both the Champions League and the Europa League.
Yep.
Pardon me. And then also, obviously, down the bottom of the table. There's still a lot to fight for. I think it's too late for Norwich. Who else is down there? Burnley are down there. Everton, I think, will have enough. And Watford are Watford. Under Roy, I don't think they're going to do too much, unfortunately. Might nick a couple of results here and there, but I don't think it'll be enough. But yeah, so shall we move on to our predictions?
Yes. So we had just recapping last week's fixtures. So the first game of the week was Lyon versus West Ham. You had 1-0 to West Ham. I had 2-1. Obviously, the score was 3-0. So that's 1 point each.
Yeah.
Coming into Saturday, Southampton versus Arsenal. You had 2-1. I had 2-0 to Southampton. The score was 1-0. So that's a point each.
Yes.
The FA Cup game, Man City versus Liverpool. You had 2-1 Man City. I had 2-1 Liverpool. So it's 0 points to you, 1 point to me. West Ham versus Burnley. You had 1-1. I had 1-0 to Burnley. This is the thing, I had 1-0 to Burnley. I was gutted. I was absolutely gutted. So yeah, obviously, I think it was Souček that equalised, didn't he? So
He did, yeah.
yeah, so it's 3 points to you, 0 points to me. And then the final game of the week, Chelsea versus Crystal Palace, again in the FA Cup. You had 4-0 to Chelsea. I had 2-1 Palace. It was a very convincing win for Chelsea. I think it was 2-0 in the end.
I forgot that we had that fixture.
Yeah. So a point for you and 0 points for me. So that is total scores for the week. Ian, you're on 6 points. I am on 3 points. So the season total, it makes for a very depressing reading if you're a Mike Hawes FC fan. Ian, you're on 52 points and I'm on 41.
For those of you who are audio only, you know that thing people used to do at school where they used to push the back of their glasses down so it makes them jump up and down in their face. I'm currently doing that in celebration.
Yeah, makes you sick. You can sod off.
Mate, I'm a genius. Just going for really odd scores. I told you, it's taken 3 seasons, but it's happened eventually.
Well, there's still a lot to play for.
Well,
there's still a lot to play for.
There's something to play. Pride. Well, neither of us had any of that to start off with, so maybe not.
No.
So fixed.
Right, so we'll come on to this week. Chelsea versus Arsenal. That is tomorrow. Like I said, we're on a bit of a downward spiral at the moment. I can't see where the goals are coming from. If we get anything from this game, I will be surprised, obviously happy. But Chelsea, they're on a bit of form at the moment. I've gone for a 3-0 win to Chelsea.
Ooh, snap. That was my thinking. I did go 4 and I always go 4 and it's never 4. So I'm going to go 3. 3-0. Okay. And I think you've hit the nail on the head with everything there. Chelsea have found a bit of form, seem to be winning quite comfortably and missing a few easy chances in a lot of games. Arsenal are making some individual errors, but I can't see them scoring.
No. Nope, completely agree. So moving on to Saturday. Arsenal versus Manchester United. Again, I've already summed it up. Downward spiral. I think the game against Chelsea is going to knock our confidence further. I think this is the game I would feel slightly more comfortable about just because of United's defensive record currently. In fact, I'm going to change my score there, I think. In fact, no, I'm not. I'm going to leave it as it is. Just because we're struggling for goals at the moment. We're lacking creativity, making stupid defensive errors. I can only see this being further hammered home. So I've gone for 3-1 to United.
Ooh. Now, see, I've gone slightly different with this. I think this will be the game you finally find a little bit of form. I've gone 1-1.
Okay.
I think defensively you will sort it out and nick a goal because United's defence is horrendous. How Dean Henderson isn't getting in the keeper slot, I don't know. And I don't think Ronaldo will be playing, obviously, with circumstances around his family at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't see them scoring either. So that's what I think there'll be an individual error from both, and then 1-1.
Okay. Fair enough. And then the final game for this week, Chelsea versus West Ham.
So, here's the thing. Apparently Diop has got an Achilles injury now. So that leaves us with Craig Dawson as a defender. And that's it. So, obviously, Soufal's coming back from injury. Aaron Cresswell will play because he's banned in the next European game. I don't know if he misses one game or two. I don't know. So that he will play. You got Ben Johnson who can play. So we might go to like a 3 at the back, I suppose, with Cresswell playing in there. Put a youngster in the middle. And that's the bit that concerns me, is defence. Going forward, I think we'll be a little bit tired, but I think form goes out the window with it. So in that sense, I've gone 3-1 to Chelsea.
Snap.
Oh, I was going to go 2, but I was like, no, and I remembered about the Diop thing, so I went 3.
Okay. Do I change my score then?
Oh, go on. I wrote 2 originally. Give me 2. Give me 2-1.
No.
No,
I've
I've changed it. I've changed 2-1. 2-1.
You want to go 2-1?
I'll go 2-1. Go on.
I was literally just about to say I'll change mine to 2-1. Okay, so you're happy with 2-1, yeah?
I'll go 2-1 Chelsea.
Last time, last chance to correct it.
No, I'll
Okay.
do it. That's what I wrote down originally. I'll stick with it.
Okay. Yeah, not much more to add to what you've just said, to be honest. So just a recap of our predictions this week. Chelsea versus Arsenal on Wednesday. Both of us have gone for a 3-0.
Yep.
Arsenal versus Manchester United on Saturday. You've gone for 1. I've gone to 3-1 to United.
Yep.
And then Chelsea versus West Ham, I think it's on the Sunday. You've gone for 2-1 and I've gone for 3-1.
Yep. That's
Cool.
correct. So, yeah, let us know your predictions on Twitter or YouTube or wherever you want to let us know your predictions. Send me an email if you can find my email address. Whatever takes your fancy. But yeah, there are our predictions for this week. Have you any other footballing conversation to have, Mike? I don't know why I did that like that.
No.
No.
No, I don't think I have. No.
No, fair enough. Well, in that sense, then, we will wrap this one up in only 32 minutes and 58 seconds. But until next week, my name has been Ian. Oh.
And my name has been Mike.
And I think I might have just proved myself. Until next week, we'll see you soon.